Our next guest on the Rise is no stranger to the CKUA airwaves, not only for his fantastic music making, but also his radio host skills. I am talking about none other than Aladean Kheroufi. Aladean, hi. Thanks for joining me. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Amazing. It's I've been wanting to chat with you for a long time. Your newest album, Studies in a Dying Love, has been doing well on the charts. It's been riding the waves, ups and downs. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about the study of a dying love? Where did that come from?
I mean, the record is a breakup record kind of things from probably from like a couple of years ago is like when I really finished it.
Hmm.
But the name of it, Studies in a Dying Love, it's actually there's a book by Fanon called Studies in a Dying Age of Colonialism, which is about the Algerian War of Independence. So I was reading that book and I just thought that concept was so cool because it talks about like the struggle during that war and I took a lot from it. So I kind of took the name from there.
Beautiful. It's great to be inspired and also, inspired by something that is like so close to your heart and your roots. How has, your culture infused and influenced your music making?
I think a lot of it, I think like the Rai movement in Algeria, like in like the late 80s and early 90s, because it was such like a rebellious culture doing that. Like artists like Shep Hasni and like Cheb Khalid that were so prevalent during that time that had like such a huge output. Like I don't know if it comes out like musically in the songs I write, but I think it's more the overarching idea of like trying to push the boundary and also like, the subject of like so much of that revolved around like love songs as well.
Hmm. Yeah, love is important. It's especially when there is conflict around, that's like it
Mhm.
can be the balm that sort of makes things palatable and endurable. When it comes to writing a song and getting the music out there, what's kind of your process?
I generally start with melody and words, and then everything comes later. Like I think like whenever I write a song, it has to like stand alone, just like by itself, whether I'm just playing guitar and piano and singing, and then the production comes after. I mean, I feel like I write a lot of my songs while I'm driving. I'm just consistently singing and trying to like work on it that way. But yeah, I think like the song is the most important thing, and the production is to come after.
Yeah, amazing. And are you, some artists have like full words like that just could like pour out of them right away. I myself am like a jelly bean queen, like if I don't have a word, I like stick the word jelly bean in there, as a placeholder. What's your process of lyric writing like?
I usually write pretty quickly because I truly believe like the sign of a good song is it takes as long to sing it as it does to write it. Like
Oh,
the closer to the heart, the better. Like just
yeah.
if you mean it, say it. It's okay if it's a little cheesy. I mean, I mean it. So
Yeah.
it's fine. Cliches are fine as long as you mean them.
Yeah, incredible. Um, and now, do you have some summer shows coming up?
Yeah, I'm playing next week in Victoria on July 3rd.
Oh, great.
Yeah, doing like an outdoor show like downtown there, and I'm at Folk on the Rocks in Yellowknife halfway through July, and then it kind of slows down for a little bit through August, and then out to Europe in September.
Oh, incredible. And when you're touring, especially in places like Europe, are you with a whole band or is it a solo act? What can they expect?
In Europe, I'm going to do half of it solo, and then the band's going to come meet up with me for the last few shows, kind of for some festivals. But like for everything else, it'll be full band. It's it all depends on the gig. We change it up depending on the paycheck.
I know that's right. Come on.
Yeah. I'd love to have 20 people with me on the road all the time, but
For reals.
sadly the bank account won't let me.
Yes, yeah, for reals, for reals. That's wonderful. I know people are gonna just fall in love with you over there, definitely. So can you tell listeners a little bit about your show?
But yeah, it broadcasts on Saturdays at midnight or Sunday if you want to think about it that way. But it's at midnight, and I record it on Wednesdays. So at Dog Patch here in Edmonton, I record the set live there, so you can come grab a bite, grab a beer there. And I do it's all vinyl. I use records all from like the CKUA vault, and I pepper in a few of like my own from home as well. And yeah, it's music for all occasions, like how I like to think about it, because I'm trying to live. I'm doing it for a dinner crowd there around like do 7:30 to 9 p.m. So it has
Yeah.
to exist there, but also has to exist in the space of midnight on a Saturday. So
Yeah.
trying to like be in both situations is a fun challenge for me, making sure it can fit.
Yeah, very interesting. It's like you're in two different time zones.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool liminal space. I like that a lot. That's beautiful. Well, Aladean, thank you so much for chatting with me today about the album. It's beautiful. And, as I dig further into the Alberta, musical scene and the soul inspired scene, it's like, finding artists like you is such a treasure and a delight. And I'm really, really happy and excited for you. And it's a beautiful album. And yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. From the album Studies in a Dying Love, this is Every Girl by Aladean Kheroufi.